All right. So, take a beer and sat in the car, ate the pizza. The last thing I felt when I finished the last piece, because I had 2 cookies that I had, it just resonated with it. I actually felt like crying when I ate the last piece. I ate the last cookie. And I questioned, like, where did this feeling come from? And at first I thought it was because deep down I know, like, some aspect of this is wrong. Like, this is wrong. Like, I'm like, you should have just pushed through last night and forced yourself sleep and woke up the next day and found something. No, that's not the bigger point. The bigger period is that you're not eating. You need to align this physical with the spiritual. So, you know what I felt? The first video I was talking about, it was talking about the backbone. It felt like when my father used to not understand what the importance or the depth of what was actually going on. So he used to yell at me and say this, that, and the other. It's the same thing. It's the literal same thing. Literally. It's the exact same thing, bro. It triggered a moment in time where I would be right about. That's crazy. I had that vision yesterday. I thought about, or was that this morning? Regardless, it was before. I thought about a time where a college person, when I was signing up for college, they had certain instructions you had to follow. And I was trying to explain to the person that something was wrong with the thing because I did everything right and it's not working. I think something's wrong with the thing. And they're like, oh, no, like, they were projecting it onto me like I did something wrong. I'm like, no, I followed the instructions. Something's wrong with this thing right here. My dad pops me upside the head because mind you, I'm not bowing down to authority. Popped me upside the head and he's like, oh, listen, oh. Then the person does the shit, the same exact thing that I did. And they're like, oh, no, you're right. Like, there is something wrong with this. Right? So this created a psychic, like, actually, yeah, it created a psychic thing too, but it created a problem in my psyche where I was very often the genius who was right about this, that, and the other, but I questioned myself because my father was doing shit like this. He had no idea what was going on. He was on the phone, not even paying this shit no mind, talking to one of his little buddies on his little gay fuckery shit he be on. You could tell your friends you love them, but you don't tell your children, that nigga, fuck you, right? So, I don't care, right? That's probably my emotional thing where it'd be like, it's weird that you do shit like this. I actually think it's gay as fuck, but whatever, right? So, going back into what I was going into, where I say, like, how do I word this? It created like a problem in the psyche where certain things that if you can't feel it, you're gonna perceive it a certain way and you're gonna automatically label it as wrong. But if you could feel this shit, like I felt like I was right when I was right, but he can't feel shit, so he was popping me upside the head, so he was then making me feel that I was wrong when I was right. This creates a problem in your energy, in your psyche. Then it affects you psychologically and affects you like in a psychic sense, in the sense where now you have energy or entities that will come along and try and play off this. Then you have to heal that in your energy. For me, is the backbone. But my backbone was also affected by supercells. This shit goes so deep, it is ridiculous. And I've learned how to heal all of it. Now I'm just trying to take it deeper into understanding a scientist needs a lab. And it's not even just about, you know, oh, you absolutely need a lab to make things work, then you're not. No, sometimes you need the space. Sometimes you need the congruency. Sometimes you need somewhere to keep all of your tools that you use for this experiment. It's a bunch of shit, bro. Yeah, that Papa John's and Pizza Hut kind of fucked me up. I'm not gonna hold you. That shit fucked me up, bro. But see, it's weird because it was like, it's showing me that I have to get the physical congruency. Like, I have to. That's so weird. But I think it's showing me, like, you still trying to push forward through this, like, spiritual. You need to get that physical part, bro. Like, you have to. You can't keep ignoring that. Your body's being affected in X, Y, Z. You need to do this. You need to X, Y, Z. But what was I saying? It's shit like that, bro. I felt it in my back. That has to be healed. Literally, that has to be healed. So I can only imagine how many other supercell kids have experienced the same thing, where their parents, because a lot of people are trying to tell us mind over matter, and you know, the pain isn't real, and this and the other. They sound stupid. They sound stupid. Because when you get sick, you called out of work. Don't get me wrong, there's probably plenty of times you push through and this and the other. Your sickness didn't hospitalize you. It's one of the dumbest things I've ever seen, bro. It's actually really, really simple. It's actually pretty crazy. So, I felt that was important to say, just because sometimes what you think is right is not the right thing. You need to sit with how it feels. And a big part of that is what I was referring to in the last video, where your right brain, left side of the meridian, left side of the body resonates with feminine energy, which is feeling. It's expression, it's intuitiveness, it's dreams, it's lucidness, it's that. When you can tap into that freely, you can commune with the ancestors all the time. You commune with your spirit and your soul. And don't get me wrong, that even goes deeper, because it depends on how strong your body is, bro. It goes into a lot of shit, but you know, that type of thing. So, I'm trying to think. Weirdly enough, I'm surprised that I'm supposed to even be saying all this. Like, I don't know. I'm in a place right now where I'm like, what exactly is going on? But I'm like understanding it, like how the first video I talked about, where basically the universe does this thing where it's a test, it's a review, it's a lesson, it's everything all packed away. It's preparation all packed into one. Like, it's ridiculous. I just needed to unpack like a lot of this. Now there's something, you can't go into that. I think this is just too much for somebody to do alone. And I think that's why, that's a piece of why it's important for me to start going into the world, because I feel like I have the awareness. I feel like I have the consciousness. I feel like I have this, that, and the other. But it's like I'm doing too much by myself. And I had a conversation with someone. Yes, you can go into that. I feel like I had a conversation with someone, one of my cousin's friends. It was very interesting. And I realized a lot of times I go into like more spiritual or high vibrational information, but he asked me something and he said, what is it that you stand on? And when he asked me that shit, I couldn't answer the question. Now, at first, I was like, oh, he asked me something that made me like, damn, I can't answer. I love shit like that because I want to figure out what it is. But I realized what it was like later on, where he was basically asking me, what do I stand on? I couldn't answer that question. And here's why, because I don't know if it was the place, I don't know if it was the people, but the energy and the environment wasn't congruent for what my answer actually be. What I stand on is the spiritual realm. I stand on energy. I stand on being aligned with nature and the universe and the earth and the ocean and the air and the sun and all these different things. That is what I stand on. I don't really care about a lot of this stuff that's been taught to us, because a lot of it, I understand, was taught to you through English by the same people who colonized and killed our ancestors. So a lot of times I don't care for it, but it's not even just, it's also deeper than that. When I say I stand on energy, my intuition, my energy, my soul, all these different things, ancestral realm will let me know what I need to focus on. So when you sitting here talking about like, you know, science in this aspect, but you have no idea how to be connected with like your intuition and your energy, like that, and it's not a comparison thing. It's a like, that's what I stand on, right? It's understanding. My intuition is not even telling me to focus on any of that shit, because it's not going to do anything for me. In this moment right now, it's not going to do anything for me. So I don't need to focus on it. It's not a priority. It doesn't mean I don't necessarily care about it. It's just not a priority. My intuition, my energy is not prioritizing this, so I don't focus on it. I stand on that. I stand on something also he said, where he was like, he just focuses on love. Like, these are the type of things that like I also stand with, but that question in the moment stumped me. And I was wondering, like, why did it do that? Because I definitely have answers. It wasn't until I got away from everybody that I was able to freely express this. And then I went back and I went to their higher selves and I was like, why couldn't I express this? And it was like, it basically said their higher selves said no for you not to express in that moment. You understand what I'm saying? When I express to people and their higher self says no, I experience some of the craziest shit happening, bro. I tell you a long time ago, go into it. I tried to tell my cousin about superpowers existing. I tried to tell her about intuition. I was trying to tell her about all of this shit. And my intuition said no, which is basically means her higher self is also saying she's not ready for this information. You know what happened after this, right? We can go I don't know how deep this actually is, but we can go kind of deep into it. We were at the gas station, right? I was getting gas out of nowhere. Like, it was like she just got crazy level angry and started tweaking. She just was like, no, that's not true. The world wouldn't be like this. And she just was going crazy. And I'm like, yo, this was crazy level illogical. Like, what the fuck? Why would you respond like that? What's happening is her spirit is protecting her because she's not ready for this information. Everyone has their own clock in which it will go off when their time is to wake up. When their time is to wake up. Our ancestors had superpowers, bro. When you start understanding, like, the Egyptians are our ancestors, and on the wall there's all types of superpowers and shit, like, all of it is real, bro. All of it. There are people now on the internet actually starting to show people that it's real. I always ask, can I show people? And a lot of time it says no. But you know what did happen? I stopped trying to tell people this and the other, and I started doing shit in front of him. One of my cousins, I started pushing myself with energy. He didn't notice. In front of my cousin, I started doing Reiki. And I was so happy, bro. I was hyped. She asked me, are you just waving? Are you just, like, exercising your hands, or are you doing Reiki? And I was like, yes, nigga, I'm doing Reiki. Right? Like, so it was like, I can't force it on her. I could sit here and do it myself. And if it catches her attention in any way, then we could, like, talk about it if it goes any further than this. But her higher self has to allow it. If not, you experience something crazy. So going back to what happened, when I told her, like, her start doing all this crazy shit, and it's to block her consciousness from letting this settle in because she's not ready. I was getting gas. First time this ever happened. The gas shit, like, broke, and it, like, the handle broke, and I spilled gasoline all over my car. Because my intuition, my higher self, her higher self, it was all like, don't do this. Like, don't tell her shit. It's not time. Spilled gasoline all over my car. You go deeper into that, right? My cousin, fire sign, Leo, whatever you want to look into. She responded in that fire type of energy of, no, I'm not letting this through. Like, I'm not, like, that fire protected her because she's not ready to hear it. Or she wasn't ready to hear it. Then I had to spend, like, the rest of the night figuring out how to clean my car and shit. So it basically distracted us from me even being able to tell her or show her anything. Some people have a time limit. So I bring this up because me and this person had a conversation on, like, why don't you just, speak to people and say whatever? Anyway, this is why. Some people's higher selves will step in and turn that shit off. So I can only say to you about 40%, or for the most part, it's usually like 15%. It's way lower than that of what I actually want to say to people. Because your higher self has to greenlight it, or this person has to be ready. So the thing that I'm finding now is, okay, I'm just going to speak my speak and just leave it on the internet. Right? I'm trying to figure out, can I invite people to listen to it? Okay, I can invite people to listen to it, but I can't force you to. I can't force you to do anything. I can only invite you. That's it. If you want to listen to it, that's up to you. You don't have to listen to it, and it's no hard feelings. That just lets me know if your higher self is, like, open to it. Like, your higher self is saying it's their time or not. That's it. That's what my answer would be. You can't sit here. That's why I was talking about 1 + 1 = 3, because I was trying to show my cousin that a college degree does not tell you everything, because we are programmed in English. We are programmed in English. We don't know our native language. We don't know our native tongue. We don't know anything our ancestors were actually doing, because all information we have on it is in a fucking book that's in English, right? And you could go deeper in that. People talking about how the Great Flood, and they reset history. They reset history, and now all information is lost. So that's why you can, oh yeah, well, Africa has it in different language and this place has it in different language. Why do none of these places actually show that superpowers exist, except for like ancient Kemet, Egypt, where it's on the walls? The only people who are really aware of it are the Asians. They're the only people who are actually like aware of it and practicing it constantly. It's on the internet everywhere. That's why it's all in their cartoons. It's not fake. They're literally showing us. They're showing us. I would have showed niggas while I was there, but I didn't get the green light from y'all higher self. That was what my answer would be. I was trying to get her to see, like, bro, your college degree, like, it means nothing to me. I still think you're smart. I know what my cousin's fucking spiritual role is. My cousin's very smart. But as you can see, she's very traumatized. She spoke for 5 hours straight without letting another person get a word in. The difference with me making these videos that's probably going to equal to 5 hours is because I'm talking and I'm not debating with someone. On top of that, she was drinking liquor. Liquor is called spirits for a reason. That's why I don't drink. When you drink liquor and you take certain drugs, it allows spirits to inhabit your vessel and control how you respond and act and do certain things. People are not aware of this. It goes very, very deep. So a lot of times I do have to limit myself, but I realize what I can do is go onto this platform and invite you to me speaking my truth. That's it. So, I could spend this video talking about what I would have actually really wanted to say to my cousin. Because a lot of what my cousin was saying and doing was actually incredibly disrespectful. But I listened to our higher selves. I listened to my intuition. They like, don't pay it no mind. You can see that she's sick. She's drunk as fuck. She's high as fuck. She's not letting anyone get a word in. She's sick. Approach it as so. Don't take it personal. Right? So, looking into that, what was I going to say? What my response to her was? Right. So she was talking about how, if we allowed society to be a matriarchy instead of a patriarchy, because statistically, she was like, women just run things better. And I'm like, okay, well, one, I don't think that was work, because we already see how patriarchy doesn't fucking work. Matriarchy is not going to work either, because you have two different sexes that all need to be at the same council table. What the fuck are we trying to do one side or the other side? That's stupid. That's literally stupid when you think about it. If you know one side doesn't work, the other side's not going to work. It might work better for a certain period of time, but I don't think it's going to work. Now, you can go into that, right? Because inside, to a certain degree, I agree with what she's saying. Well, statistically, if it works, that's not a bad idea. Why don't we sit with the nature and the earth and our ancestors and go into the spiritual realm and see what it is we need to do? That's what I would stand on. I don't give a fuck about whether it did. And I said that night. I don't care about whether it works this way or whether it works that way. As long as we figure out what does work, I don't care how it has to be. She's like, oh, why not we just try it? Because my energy that's been aligned with the earth is saying that that's not what we're supposed to do. That's what I'm feeling, right? So it's not about me and what I think. When you understand that a lot of college education becomes from, well, what do you think and what do you feel? Versus if you actually get into nature and it will energetically show you what is right, what's actually gonna work. So it doesn't matter what the fuck I think or how I emotionally feel about something. It gives off a vibration. The same way truth gives off a vibration. When you tap in, people can't really lie to you, right? Like it carries a certain vibration. Truth carries a certain vibration. It carries a certain feeling. So when someone's telling you the truth or they're being honest or being genuine, you know. That's what my answer to be would. That's what my answer to that would be. What is it you stand? I stand on that. Now, the part that I would pull in is that I don't know how to operate in society, right? Like not that I don't know how to operate, but society isn't vibrationally in a state for me to healthily operate in. Unless I'm operating in a way where I'm receiving a lot of money, then you can basically do whatever the fuck you want. It becomes easy to operate and do this, that, and the other. But as I already explained, that's what I sit on. So I don't really 100% say, oh, this is this and that's that. Whatever the energy feels like, whatever nature is relaying to me and telling me to do, whatever the ancestors are saying, that's what I sit on. You have to understand the universe And these things all work off energy, right? So sometimes the answer is yes, and sometimes the answer is no to the exact same question. The answer changes sometimes. Sometimes what, and that becomes complex because now you're looking at why did that change? Okay, it might have been the time, it might have been the people, it might have been the environment, it might have been a lot of different things. And when you start to understand, that's why I brought up not metaphysics, quantum physics and shit like that. When you start to understand some of that, it better helps you understand this. That's why I said 1 + 1 is 3. I don't give a fuck about no, like, she was talking about scientific method, and that might be my ignorance, because I've been out of school so long, I don't remember what some of that shit is. That might just be her same thing. Oh, you try this and you figure it out. The reason that doesn't work is because if you put 2 apples together, you say 1 + 1 is 2. But if you put 2 colors together, you get 1 + 1 is 3. 1 apple plus another apple equals 2 apples. Blue plus red equals purple. That's 3 different energies. When you start to look at things that way, you start to realize things are way more nuanced than what we've been taught. It's too simple to say it's absolutely this, absolutely that. So when we're talking about universal truths, to me, it's just whatever level we're on. As you go higher, that universal truth will change. She's speaking on universal truth of all these professionals. She's using the word professional. That's how white people get you. That's how this college education shit. They're the professionals. Nigga, if I take and murder all your people, and I take all the information and I only give you 10% of it, and I teach everyone only 10%, you're gonna say those 10% are the professionals. Meanwhile, you know 90%, and you know everyone's fucking retarded. And you know what I'm saying? When you start thinking on that type of level, you stop bothering with certain shit. Like, there's no point in me even saying that. Majority of what I was saying, and I was trying to get her to see XYZ, which probably it wasn't a waste of time because it wouldn't have happened if it was. But it was to just show, like, college education isn't everything, bro. It's not. My mom has a master's degree. My father has made more money than his entire life. It's not everything. It's her programming. It was programmed, and I don't want to go into all that. I'm not going to go into all that. But that's what a lot of that shit is. I'm not sitting here saying I'm better or I know more of this and the other. I'm just sitting here relaying to you what I'm experiencing and understanding bluntly it's on a higher vibration. That's it. There's way more ways to look at certain things, do certain things, understand certain things. That's it. That's all I wanted her to see is, like, you have to expand your mind, but you can't expand your mind if you can't expand your energy. You don't know anything about energy, so that was like, we were talking about the parameters of things and how if you're only, this basically goes back into what I'm saying. If it's the same thing we had with I think it's some mosquitoes. With the mosquitoes, they were programmed to only stay in those parameters. Even when the parameters changed, they were still programmed to operate within those parameters. That's what you're seeing in college education. It creates a certain energetical parameter that you're really just following rules and laws that someone else made up. But you don't actually know and this, that, and the other yourself. And even if it is real, it's still limited. It's like if I tell you a story, but I only tell you 40% of it, you're only going to have 40% of that story. Once you hear the other 60%, you're like, holy shit, this changes all the context. It changes everything. It's the same thing, bro. It's the same thing. So when I say, what do I stand, is that I just use certain terms to try and make it make sense. But a lot of it is really just energy. Understand the higher you vibrate, the laws start to change. It's the same thing as angels. The higher you vibrate, you don't see angels anywhere. Some people might, right? But for the most part, you don't really see them in this reality in a very, like, obvious way or tangible way because they're vibrating very, very high. So the laws change. This changes, that changes. So when we're just sitting here talking about concepts, like, it's not gonna prove anything to me. It's not. Because at the end of the day, the earth will be like, nope. I'll be sitting there, and my intuition and the earth will be like, no. Right? So now the one thing that's popping up with me and I'm looking at is, it almost starts to feel like I'm saying that I know the way and I know what's right and I know what's best. I don't want to that's not my like intention. I don't know if that's what I'm giving off. I'm just presenting what I experienced and what's been shown to me. Damn, this walk got my motherfucking ass. And that food. That's what I mean. Sometimes it's almost better to just like muscle that shit out, because like, bro, is this even worth it to eat this food? Like, the fuck? But I think I still needed the food. Even being in nature, like the tree was like, you need the food, bro. Like, you literally need it. Oh my God. My body was like, what the fuck? So I felt like that was necessary. I like going on the internet and talking because it gives me the space to speak my truth. To speak my truth. It does. And I love that so much. And I find it to be very, very necessary. And I'd be wanting to people to like hear that and understand it and like, do you agree or this and the other? Oh Lord, you will always be there to guide me home. And again, I'm always open. And I'm not necessarily saying everything I absolutely say is right, but you better come to me with some like facts or something that actually makes me go like, damn, okay, that beats this. That beats this, that beats this. If you're not coming to that, I'm all right. I'll be open to it, because I said, like, statistically, well, if women run shit better, it does make more sense to do that. But then the planet might be saying, no, like, that's not what we're asking you to do. And even if that's the case, it's more nuanced. You might need to run that matriarchy in specific places. You might need to run a patriarchy in specific places. But to say that's the overall thing is just, in my opinion, I don't want to say simple-minded, but it's only like, this one task is going to make everything work. No. So I didn't agree. I just didn't agree with it. It didn't feel right to me. It didn't resonate. But she just, college education and this and the other, bro. Like, I can go into where does that resonate energetically? Where is she even saying that from? Is that coming from trauma? Is that coming from your ego? Is that coming from how your energy's running? Because it's like, it's like, okay. You're not considering what I'm saying because I don't have a college education. I still consider what you're saying, even though you're not aware of and experiencing what I'm aware of and experiencing. I still consider what everyone's saying and doing. Still consider it. It just, I don't think other people do that. They just, this is my point, this is my point. Like, you understand having a debate with someone and they're not even letting you get a word in? Odds are that person is usually wrong. But again, I don't even go off that. I just look at it like, this is kind of wild, because the thing is, you can be open to it and just use your point to beat it every time, if it actually beats it. But if you're blocking anyone else off, that means some part of you is trying to protect whatever it is that you absolutely believe in. It's that simple. So this is like me talking about my experiences that I've had and this and the other, and then at the same time I'm like feeling in my like backbone how like this affects certain things. There's something I became aware of and it tried to like skip. Oh, I had a realization from another video, like the backbone is like really the fucking, damn, what was the thing that popped up? Beautiful bird. Oh, that's a beautiful bird. Ooh, okay. The backbone and how it affects things. The backbone is like your childhood, how you were raised, how you were programmed, the things that you were brought up on, all of it, your foundation. So do you think that's her sitting here saying, oh, Kyle, or you think that's probably her mom? Her mom's programming and this, that, and the other that's not allowing any other thing in. But if she was in her own energy and aligned with nature, she'd probably be more open to this, that, and the other. It's programming. The same thing I'm talking about, my programming, my backbone, and what I was raised up in is been highly affected by my father. It's been highly affected by me having to grow up, be a hospital child. It's highly affected by these things, and I have to remove those programs. But for me, I have to actually heal these things to remove these programs. I have to actually heal what they be telling us is an unhealable disease. And I'm still doing it. So I'm actually upload these because I like these talks. They're so good. I'm just unpacking a lot of things that I've experienced and where I've created a space where I have to come and speak my own truth because it's for me, but then it's also for me to put my awareness into the world. And whoever, aligns with that will come into to space and, XYZ and da-da-da. I think I'm going to do that and just start inviting people into this fucking space and just putting it out there. I don't like the word promoting, but just putting it out there and putting it in a way where people actually see it. They might listen. They might this, that, and the other. I've just never liked being in the world because, again, you got to think, I went somewhere, I had to do a whole bunch of this. I couldn't give my point in the conversations because energetically it was so, like, ridiculous. But I had to sit back, go into my own space, and then speak my truths of this, that, and the other. Like, the way it exists is kind of weird. But that's how it exists for me. So that's what I got to walk into the world with, is accepting that. You know what I'm saying? He was talking about world building. And now it's funny because that's what I was doing. Like, I found that, like, me being my own energy, speaking my truth, and actually inviting people into my world, I found that, like people actually fuck with me, or I came across people that, like, aligned in some way. And it might be on different levels. They might align on this energetic level. This person might align on this energetic level. And it creates an awesome place where, like, wow, I can be in the world. Wow, I can reach people. I can talk to people. I can put my perspective out here. And not be afraid to be myself. I be saying nigga and all type of shit and speaking however I speak. But it's the backbone part of me standing on everything like that sometimes can actually make me collapse, right? Like, people don't understand you have a sickle cell attack from being too emotionally overwhelmed. So then I have to teach sickle cell at the same time. I got to teach sickle cell and I got to teach spirituality. I got to teach all this shit. That's part of my purpose. I'm open for it because it's lit. I love it, nigga. You telling me I can heal? I'm healing super cell and I get superpowers? What? My nails are dirty, motherfucker. But, we in nature with it, nigga. It's dirt, nigga. The dirt is good for us, nigga. On some real shit. But, right, like that. Like me trying to cover up. But the backbone, I'm constantly compensating for the backbone. Yo. Okay. But that also doesn't mean go and just be out here as loud as possible. It doesn't also mean that. You just have to find what's congruent or neutral. Cool. All right, well, my phone is about to die, so I'm actually going to finish this to the best of my ability. Yeah. I got to put myself in the more. But you see, like, it's a lot of information. This is a lot of information, bro. It's probably like 5 hours of video. But I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? My thing would be to use, find the time, smoke you some weed, sit down, just listen to it. If it resonates and then you'll be interested, you'll actually listen to it. That's just how it works. So, yeah. And when we call. So, right, even the sound thing I played you, like, bro, it's like a blueprint. The first song is Prayers of Wisdom. Prayers of Wisdom is me praying with the earth, praying with the universe, praying with my ancestors. And understanding that I have to consciously call on them for them to actually show up in a conscious way where I can see it. They're always there protecting us, but it's subconscious. But you can actually make it conscious where you can actually get direct instructions. But I would advise people to just go in nature and clear your energy out first, because you don't know what type of spirits you might be having around just because how your energy resonates. Bro, it goes down very, very deep. The whole thing is like a thing that you can use that shit to clear your energy. The support sound tanks are to clear your energy, and they're to be support. So for me, my backbone needed support. So I created something that when I get too overwhelmed or I get too tired, I can go to. So was that? Yeah, I wonder. No, because I had already did that. Okay. Right? That's what they're for. That's what that's for, to more so clear your energy and uplift your energy. I also understand sometimes uplifting your energy is you have to go into the shadow side and what's affecting you subconsciously, what's affecting you in the realms of the hidden. You don't realize you're operating from trauma. My cousin was clearly operating from trauma. You're drunk, high, not letting anyone get a word in, and you're being disrespectful all in one sitting. That is crazy. That's trauma, bro. That's why she sat there and she talked about trauma for fucking how long she talked about. It's trauma. That's what a lot of my art is to help us heal and give us tools. So those supporting sound tapes are for that. Clear your energy, da-da-da-da. Now you have the other side, right? It goes even deeper. You have the other side where I played me rapping. Me rapping is the part where you have to acknowledge the darkness. You have to acknowledge this, that, and the other. You have to acknowledge it because that shit will control you. You have to bring it consciously. Then what did my cousin do? Hold on, what the hell was that? What is this, right? So what did that do? That fucking, what did she ended up doing? She ended up showing me a tattoo of the yin and yang symbol, which her yin and yang symbol was messed up. It didn't have the light and the dark. You have the white side, which is, I think, yang. I always get them confused. Which is the yang, which is white, but you have the little black dot, which means there's always a little bit of darkness in all the light. The other side is yin or whatever, and it's the black side, which is it's mainly black, and it has one little white dot, and it's basically just always some light in the dark. Her tattoo did not have the light in the dark. That's what my album is literally about, being a beacon of light in the dark. Literally. So everything came together. I'm seeing that universally. I'm seeing that with my shaman eyes. You understand what I'm saying? I'm seeing that, but I can't speak on it because y'all higher self is saying don't. It's not for them, or it's not this, that, and the other. Like, you know what I'm saying? But all of it is there. All of it is happening, and it's you know? So it becomes about what are you consciously choosing. You have to consciously choose to be open to this type of information and awareness. You know what I'm saying? You have to consciously choose it. You know? And all of our lives different. I understand. She's working. She's doing X, Y, Z. I'm also the type of person that realized she didn't get fired for no reason. Nigga, our spirit probably got her ass fired. Our spirits do shit like this. Our spirit will get our ass fired. It'll have people break up with us so it could free your ass. Now you got free time to hear all this good information, nigga. So you can start consciously choosing it and live better and different because the world is changing. A lot of this shit we seeing now is gonna go out of style. It's gonna go be extinct. The same celebrity shit is gonna be extinct, bro. All this shit is changing. I have the awareness, so I kind of want to put it here so that, you know, my family and other people don't have to go into the world like blind, like, damn, I had no idea this was going on, da-da-da. And that's what's being asked of me in the spiritual realm, is to go into the world and do that. But I don't be able to speak on everything. But I would love to talk to you more because you clearly were aware of a lot of shit that is not, you don't come across that all the time. But that to me was fire. Oh Lordy, you will always. See, another thing is my cousin. Damn, am I really supposed to be doing it? Yep, that is exactly what you're supposed to do. My cousin also was talking about, you know, how she has therapy and da-da-da-da. Talk therapy is not enough. My cousin needs to do art. You know why she was talking for 5 fucking hours? She was talking for 5 fucking hours because she has a hella shit that she's suppressing and harboring. Where art helps you release that shit. That was the point. That's also the point of my art. The art is so I can release a lot of that, release a lot of the pain, release it. That's the shadow side. You harboring a bunch of stuff and it's blocking your energy. That's where a lot of that shit is, bro. Is what a lot of that shit is. She needs to do art. That's why I offered it. You need to do art. You need to do something expressive. Would I love to sit down and do that with you? Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm always open, bro. Anybody in my family or anybody that resonates that's open to let's do this healing, I'm with it. Nigga, I'm absolutely with it. I don't care about this regular life shit. I don't. And it doesn't, like, because sometimes she'll be like, I brought up I had an electric bike. She's like, do you have a job? Like, no, I don't have a job. There's still ways to figure out how to do this for other people because they don't have a debilitating disease. Still other ways to get into this and have your job and do what it is you need to do. You can still make time for it. Same way we made time for hours to talk about absolutely fucking nothing and fucking watch these shows before you had games, drink alcohol, and smoke weed. I'll smoke here and there, and even that, I get a green light from nature to do that. There's times when nature be like, no smoking weed. And there's times where I get a green light. It's all that's there. This is the part that I don't like be able to speak on because it's too much for people. Was my cousin even going to let me sit down, uninterrupted, unfiltered, and talk like this without being offended or without interrupting me and saying something that she believes she should say because she has a college degree? Now, I do think a college degree makes you a lot smarter. I do. You become more aware of things. It expands your consciousness. I do. I don't have no problem with admitting that. I didn't go to college. I did go to college. I left immediately. I wasn't fucking with it. But you have to also understand, like, you must also see how that's blocking her. She's not open to any other information unless it's coming from the people who colonized us. College, the place of the colonizers. They own all the information. You still think reading books and this, that, and the other. Bro, if this whole shit was flooded and we had a reset, y'all think, oh, because they said, oh, Big Bang Theory, and oh, we only been here for 1,000. Nigga, we've been here for millions of years, nigga. You can get these truths and information from nature. It's in your DNA. All of your ancestors' information is in your DNA. So whatever they knew is in your DNA. You just have to be in a place to, like, unlock it and see the truth. And then the truth will vibrate at a certain resonation, whatever the words are, don't care. And you will know what's true and what's not true. Then you start realizing majority of the shit they're teaching us is like partial truths. Partial truths. So I don't focus too much on it because I know it's a partial truth. I'll wait until my intuition wants to show me exactly what I need to know. Whether it's the whole truth, or whether it's more percentage, or whether it's that partial information. I'll just wait for my intuition to show me. It goes very, very deep. Very, very deep. Last thing, people be like, oh, well, you're sitting here, this and the other. But I was sleeping in my car. I'm not just sitting here balling out with money and da-da-da-da. No, I was sleeping in my car because I needed to do this. I needed to be here and have this information. If I didn't sit here and sleep in my car, I wouldn't know how to heal sickle cell. I wouldn't have these powers. I wouldn't have this and that. That might be too much information, people, but at this point, I don't care. I think that's for me to put here. If you want to listen to it, you can. If you don't want to, then don't. It's very simple. And one thing I have picked up from my cousin, live your life regardless, bro. My cousin be loud and wrong and be absolutely fine with it. And a lot of things she sometimes be right. But she don't give a fuck whether she's right or wrong. She's just going to be loud with it anyway. I don't like being loud and wrong. That bothers me a lot. But I realize it doesn't mean I need to turn myself all the way down. That's not the right action to take. So, yeah. Alright, that's it. Well, something else. Wait till it dies. Damn. So yeah, man, my music is meant to be freeing. Me talking is meant to either trigger your ass or it's meant to uplift your ass, expand your consciousness, all type of shit, bro. And I'm a bridge. I have a lot of spiritual realm access. A lot. And a lot of people don't have that. So I'm a bridge for those who want to have access to their ancestors. And not on some like, well, you talk to me and I'm going to tell you what your ancestors say. No. On some like, if you're around me, you're going to start getting access to certain things. Naturally. Because my energy is going to affect you in a way where you're naturally going to start healing. You don't even realize. You might not even realize it. Your energy is naturally going to start healing and expanding just because you're around me. Because I have access to this, it's going to affect your energy and give you access. It might not be the same level. It might be more. It might be less. We don't know. But that's what happens. And you figure out what you need to do. That's why I kept mentioning village. We need to operate as a village. That's how the village will operate. You have certain people doing certain things. This nigga is specifically supposed to be a spiritual bridge in our village so that we can constantly commune with the ancestors and do this. This nigga is supposed to go get the money. This nigga is supposed to know how to cultivate the food. This nigga is supposed to know how to cook the food. This nigga is supposed to learn how to build houses and do XYZ. This nigga is supposed to be the head of the army. This nigga is supposed to be... You know what I'm saying? We all have different roles. But majority of us don't know what our roles are. And that's the problem. I'm supposed to be a bridge. I'm like the avatar. Literally. I am the bridge between the spiritual and the physical. The avatar is basically just a different word for shaman. But apparently in history, they actually killed all our shamans and this, that, and the other. Which is wild. And which is why a lot of times I'll be like, I don't know if I should be speaking because this shit seems kind of dangerous. But I'm protected, bro. I've been sleeping in my car for months and nothing has happened to me. Everyone's like, that's dangerous. You can't do that. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Bro, I got called to be here. And do this. And I didn't listen the first time it was told to me. I had kept sneakers and certain shit in my car months, untouched. No one gave a fuck. The second I didn't immediately listen to this listen, somebody broke into my car that night and took my sneakers. That was a sign. Time to go. Went to the ocean. Now I got superpowers and shit. I know how to heal. But they keep saying it's an incurable disease. And they're wrong. It's a genetic trait. It's a genetic super trait. You look at Dr. Delbert Blair, it's a genetic super trait. And it's, I don't know if it's turning on, but I'm in a place where I know how to regulate the body so you can start using that shit properly. I just need to have certain conditions so that I can actually take care of myself, right? You not see me eating fucking Papa John's. I'll be cooking all my own food. I'll be growing my own food. I'll be growing my own crops and vegetables. And I would eat that way. But right now, this is low-key survival mode. So I'm doing whatever it is to survive. Survive, root chakra, red. Oh, you know what I'm saying? It just goes really, really deep. Ooh, butterfly. Oh, that mug disappeared. Oh, no, I just saw it. There it is. You know what I'm saying? So that's what a lot of that is. It's a lot of information. I realize I gotta go to the world and talk more. I just have to. I think no, I'm pulling the energy of the music I'm talking about. It's time to back out of this. Hell no. Hell no. Hell no. Again, a lot of times you guys sound very spiritually sensitive. I can tell that you have certain people in your life you shouldn't be around. Have certain spirits and demons around them and shit. And I can sense that from here. I don't even need to see the person you're around. I can sense it from here. That shit is ridiculous, bro. That shit is literally ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So that's why I put my energy back. You gotta understand energy. Look into energy bodies. Look into chakras. Look, and there's more than 7. There's more than 12. There's more than 13. There's like 200 of these shits. But I would say focus on like the 7 and then going to like 12, 13, that type of shit. You gotta start looking at that. Clearing your energy out and getting in nature. It's a lot of shit. I'm realizing now I'm actually very, very informed. I'm way more informed, and I need to start helping people. I need to start making myself accessible in a way that actually resonates with you. Tell me who you hang with, nigga. I'll tell your future. Whoever you hang with is gonna affect your energy. Is gonna see if if you have access to these certain things. Tell me who you hang with, nigga. I'll tell your future. That shit gonna affect all of that shit, bro. That shit is ridiculous. So that's where my backbone plays in. I have to. I gotta spend more time in nature. I've grown a lot and expanded a lot, but I need to expand more. There you go. Keep talking till that phone turn off. Damn. So, yeah, man, I'm doing my best. No, I knew it. I knew in that sense that I shouldn't have. But I didn't feel like suffering. It's not. I didn't feel like suffering. But I didn't feel like that was the best decision. So in a sense, the suffering is controlling. That's all right though. That's all right though. It's not about beating yourself up. Universe and nature will show you that. You expand, you grow, your floor is way higher than it's ever been. It's like Gianna says, it's not a failure, bro. You grew, you learned, you picked up certain things. My floor is way higher than it's ever been. And that's a testament to the earlier video I was talking about. Even though I went through all that and it seemed like the wrong decision in the dream, my floor was upgraded. My physical was upgraded because trees got roots, nigga. Going down is also a good thing. It's very, very good. The trees go down to go up. Ah, we lit. My phone's dying because the brightness is going down. But that's what it is, bro. Because trees got roots. It seems a lot of coop is coming from the lost one. A coop for me and the dude in the mirror who's fucking awesome. The bottom of the ocean, my focus is on the fountain of youth. My inner child eternally cooking Gotham is God's son. Wise rise like the phoenix is feeding the children of Earth's opera. Still standing still in the middle